to a gallery, museum, etc. The most recent one of these, the biggest profile one of these, is a nationally run one called A Night Less Ordinary. Some of you might have heard of it or even benefited from it. And it's aimed at young people. It's aimed at people between the ages of 16 to 26. And what it says on the website, it's quite a nice website, but what it says on the website is it's putting £1.6 billion of public funding into this scheme to get young people to go to the theatre. That's 1.6 billion. That's 2 YouTubes at Google's recent purchase price. That's 256 musics. But I don't believe that figure as it happens, but I can't find an up-to-date figure. Hansard hasn't got one, etc. But whatever they're putting in, it's too much. Why are they doing this? Well, because art's good for us, because art inspires us, etc. Now, I'm a great fan of art. I even like artists. Some of them, but I do draw the line at Bono, so we'll come to him in a minute. But it's because it's good for us. So what are they doing here? They're giving free tickets. Well, that sounds fantastic. So why not? Well, they're giving free tickets because the assumption is young people don't go, presumably because they're too poor to go. These are the young people that go to see U2 at £100 a ticket to make Bono a rich git. These are the same young people that go to football matches. They're the same young people that buy a whole range of different things, but they're not going to theatre. It strikes me that they're not going to theatre for other reasons. That's not to say some young people aren't in poverty. It's not to say that young people shouldn't be invested in. But some people are spending their money on Ugg boots. And I want to stop that. Let's put our money into stopping the Ugg. Is anyone wearing Ugg boots? Because they're lovely. They're really nice. I really like them. But people are putting their money into quite expensive things. So it's not a lack of money, I think, that is the barrier. So plainly the government doesn't know this, or the Arts Council doesn't know this. But more than 10 years ago, they commissioned a study by Hargreaves McIntyre, and this said that these barriers are exaggerated, but they're not really there. Why else are we investing in this? For young people, because it's good for them and they're the future of theatre. There's a feeling that young people don't go to the theatre, and statistically you're more likely to go if you're 40 than if you're 20. But I think there's all kinds of habits we get into as we're older. We don't need to do all the time. I might take up a pipe habit. I might even take up an old man habit, but I don't need to take up that habit when I'm 17 to make sure I'm still doing it when I'm 40. So, does it work? Well, according to some marketing managers, no it doesn't. More than 200 people tried to get a free ticket from this theatre, they reserved them all, 20 of them turned up. Why? Because they're not valued. We know this about free. So, rather than just being negative, which is quite fun, but it's good to look at what does work. What should we be doing? Where could we put that money? And I think we should be asking the audience. I think we should be asking that potential audience what would get them into the theatre. I used to be a front of house manager. Ice cream's quite good. I've got lots of young people in. In my case, babysitting would be nice. I'd get to the theatre much more if I had somewhere to put that small child. And asking the audience, or asking the potential audience, is what's recently happened in Birmingham. And there's this, it's a fabulous website actually called The Challenge of Change. And young people were asked, what would get you to the theatre? One of the things they hated, which I really like, was assume in particular communities always want to see things about issues. And we do that to young people. Most recently, there's been a lot in Liverpool about knife crime and gun crime. So the people of Croxteth get shows about knife crime and gun crime, as if they're not getting enough at home. So we have this idea that it's good for us, but we don't actually ask the people who it might affect. The biggest thing, I think, is the first thing on that slide that's just gone, which is challenging theatre etiquette. Making theatre not feel like a difficult place to go if you're a young person. One way the young people suggest is through having food, expanding the rules of theatre. They feel it's a place with the rules that's good for them. I just want to end on an audience clapping because it cheers me up, but also because this is the Royal Court Theatre in Liverpool, where they've changed the model of theatre quite a lot. You can go there and eat, and a lot of people are going there who don't usually go to see theatre. They're not young, but they're going to see theatre nonetheless. Okay, thank you very much.